Hi, my name is Ari, and I'm so happy you have chosen to watch an episode of our podcast, the Growth, Grace, and Gratitude podcast. I was inspired to start podcasting as a kind of shift that I had from the dance world into journalism. I grew up dancing ballet, and I have performed with the New York City Ballet, Miami City Ballet, at Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater, and in Madison Square Garden. So my overarching experience in dance has really inspired me to open up conversation that affects and influence our mental health. We have experts from every field to just talk about things and to find some level of growth, grace, and gratitude within each step of our evolution. I also want to mention that we have spiritual courses available for anybody that wants guidance on their spiritual journey, and if that includes coaching, we have a lot of guidebooks about inner child healing and mental health support and relationship guidance. And for students, we have great tutoring for writers who want to build on their journalistic skills or who want to publish their first novel, who want to work on their writing in general. We have courses in dance, ballet, yoga, and Pilates. So whether you are advanced or brand new, our classes are held on Zoom, and we have options for personal classes or group classes. And for writers, there's also an option of the typewriter. So if you have a typewriter that needs repair, we can repair that for you. And if you need a new typewriter, you can purchase a beautiful typewriter and start the writing process at your own pace. If you would like to have me on your podcast or would like to be a guest on my podcast, or if you want us to answer your questions in an upcoming episode, please send us an email at growthandgracemindset@gmail.com. And if you like our shows and they resonate with you, please consider giving our show a rating of 5 stars. Give us a comment, follow us, and just enjoy the episodes. Thank you so much for sharing your time and your journey with us. I hope you enjoyed the show. Welcome to the Growth, Grace, and Gratitude podcast, where we talk about all things mental health, wellness, healing, positive psychology, business tips, entrepreneurial tips, music, and so much more. And today we will discuss the impact of music and how positive rap affects the youth and overall people who listen to music with our guest, David Paul Brooks, who has achieved a remarkable feat with his latest single, Undefeated 3.0, reaching the number one on the national radio hits AC40 chart. The positive rap artist, songwriter, actor, clothing designer, mentor, motivational speaker, and co-founder of Brew Bro International Group and DPB Music Incorporated, David has shared the stage with great artists including the legendary Bootsy Collins, Salt and Pepper, Kool Moe Dee, Kirk Franklin, Yolanda Adams, King and Country, Unspoken, Toby Mac, Anointed, Deion Sanders, Canton Jones, to name a few. He performed on Bed Teen Summit Gospel Special. As a solo artist, David has charted on the Billboard charts and Christian rock radio. National airplay with his song Brighter Day at number 15, reached number 2 on the Urban Influencer Christian Hip Hop chart with God Mode, and in 2023 he hit number 1 on the same chart with Let It Go. His goal is to provide people, particularly youth, with an alternative and cutting edge message in music that can help overcome painful issues they may be facing.
hmm
So thank you so much for joining us and sharing your music.
For sure. Thank you for having me here.
Yes, it's amazing. I think like even just naming some of the titles of your songs feels so good today. Brighter Day, Let It Go, Undefeated, God Mode. I feel like these are such positive ways to kind of even get into like listening to music, because so often what we hear and the words we speak really impact our brain. That's why like positive affirmations are so important. I have so many guidebooks for all my followers and clients because I do a lot of like mental health coaching, And growing up in the arts myself, like with ballet, it's so important to use like positive words to impact people. So what was your decision to use these really deeply positive words for your albums?
What's so cool that what you're saying is I just happen to have here, wasn't thinking we were going to talk about it, but my shirt that I got on, No Bad Days. I wrote a book called No Bad Days. Haven't had a bad
Wow.
day in 14 years. So as a writer, what are you going to talk about if you don't have no bad days? So you have to be true to where you're at. So that's why you have I feel so good today. You have, the different songs like that, just based off what I'm going through. And I noticed it has more impact because it's real to me than just a song. So when you're getting the titles, like there's a song called Let It Go, to where I wanted to do it as a New Year's thing. You got to let it go. The hurt you have inside, it doesn't matter what it is. And it's more for you to fly than it is for the person that you're forgiving. But a lot of people got so much hurt and pain in their lives that because they hold it, they never can go forward. So it's keeping them in a place where they don't know how to get past it. But the person that did it to them or whatever it may be, they're moving on with their life while you're stuck. So I teach them, man, you got to let it go. You got to forgive. And it's more for you than it is for them. So you can fly, so you can move on. And so that's what kind of like No Bad Days is, or how I write. I write to let folks know, man, it's how you see things is how it's going to go. So you could turn it around by different things of that nature. So I'm just,
That's so great. Yeah, exactly. And it also like brings the listener to a very sacred place where they're able to kind of heal through the music in a positive way. Because if you think about all the music that a lot of youth listen to that are kind of fed to them in friend groups, they're often very toxic and the language can be so extreme. And that really subconsciously plays and rewires the brain in a not very positive or healthy way at all. And then they grow up
sure.
and maybe they have deeper depression or symptoms of anxiety. And I feel like
Right.
music plays such a huge role. Tell us about why you wanted to make this for the youth and how youth plays a role in your journey of sharing your music.
No, for sure. One thing is I believe this one: kids can be what they see. If they don't see a substitute, how can they be that? So just as well. So one thing is, I feel so good today. You wake up in the morning and you could feel a certain way. It doesn't mean you have to be that just because you feel a certain way. So you wake up and you mad at everybody and nobody did nothing to you. And you don't want nobody to talk to you. So I tell them first, say, man, God, thank you for waking me up. I feel so good today. So I'm all about speaking life over my day. And since doing that, I haven't had a bad day yet. Like I learned that I can let things bother me or don't let things bother me. Right. So I have a choice of that. So in my music, what I do is I try to let people experience what I'm experiencing because I never thought it was possible to experience. When you see so many people going through so much stuff, you be like, well, I guess this is what normal people go through. So I believe what I'm going through should be what's normal. You know what I'm saying? But we make the negative normal instead of what is positive should be normal. So I try to show that in my own music, like Peer Pressure. There's a song called Peer Pressure. And I knew when I was growing up, I just wanted to be a part of some type of group. So in the song, I wrote it out to where, am I going to be with the ballers? Am I going to be with the jocks? Am I going to be with, who am I going to be? And there was nothing wrong with just being me. You know what I'm saying? And so the whole thing is, I think there's always that struggle and that fight on identity. Everything is trying to gear somebody somewhere. It don't matter what it is. It's trying to gear somebody somewhere. And then I learned that God has an original plan for each and every person. And what happens is we rather follow people than we is exactly what God has called us to be and who he called us to be.
That's beautiful. Yes, using song and music through the like channel of divinity is very powerful, and I feel like a lot of people just really are craving for this kind of shift into like a sacred space. And I think music is such a great portal to connect us to that divine. So what are your favorite lyrics from your new song coming out, Peer Pressure?
Oh, I guess it's the chorus. Pressure is coming after you all the time. Peer pressure. I hope you're strong enough to avoid the sign. Life pressures can change your destiny at any time. Pressure's coming. Pressure's coming. Pressure's coming. Look out.
Very nice.
So if you keep on hearing that, you know, all right. So there's gonna be pressure. I just need to look out for it. You know what I mean? That look out and have wisdom on. I'm not gonna hang with that group because I know what comes with that group. I'm not gonna hang with these folks. You know, if I hang around smokers, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna smoke. If I hang around drinkers, I'm gonna drink. You know what I'm saying? So if I hang around people, I have to hang around people that's gonna push me into my destiny and my purpose. So I took it that angle instead of the stuff. Because I don't want to be bound by the stuff. I'd rather be bound by the greatness of who I'm supposed to be, first of all. And so it's got to be people speaking life to me. That will check me if they know I'm heading off the wrong path. That I want to be checked because I want to be the best I can be. I know a person loves me if they check me. You know, like yo, Dave, you might have said that wrong. That you might be leading people. So I'd rather have that than for me to try to act like nah. I know what I'm doing. This came from me. This is what I'm going through. So I learned, you know, it's good to have good people around you that push you into your greatness and who you're supposed to be.
A
Sure.
100%. And it's like having that discernment, first of all, brings you such a great level of awareness and clarity so you can actually move out from whatever friend group is toxic and bringing you down. That's like the first hardest step for so many people to do, because oftentimes we're kind of glued into a group, it feels like, us growing up or in school or in at a job or something like that. So yes, having discernment to actually be like, oh wait, this is not serving me and I'm not fulfilling like my divine role or purpose, so let me
For
just
sure.
check myself and like take a step in a higher direction. And when it comes to helping the youth, if they want to also start their music career or express themselves through song, what's some good first steps that they can take?
First, I always tell folks when you feel like you really want to do something, practice, practice, practice when nobody sees. Become great at it when nobody sees. Then, when it's now, you have a chance to show folks. People will know. People know when you work on something. Like you could tell when somebody's trying to sing, and you could tell when somebody can sing, and you could tell how they look when they sing, how long they were doing it, man, they look like this is what they've done for years. So I believe here go one of the greatest things I would tell anybody. Whatever you do behind closed doors, God will show openly. So if I practice and I constantly practice, when I get the chance to just get on the stage, people are gonna know, wow, that brother is really good at what he does because he worked on it. So I believe that work behind the scenes is the key. Is if you work hard, it's gonna show that you worked hard. You if you can't sing and you keep on practicing when nobody is watching, when you finally get your chance to sing, people are gonna be like, "Whoa, whoa, look at that!" And next thing you know, you're in front of bigger audiences. Next thing you know, you're in front of folks that you never thought you would be in front of because you worked hard at your stuff. But in everything, you got to work hard. It's just not just even doing a podcast. You got to work hard. First, it starts off with one person, 5 people, 20 to 100, till it keeps on building. But it takes work and dedication to build. And so, and another thing is make sure you have the right people that believe in you and not lie to you. Because, parents will go like this and say, you're good. And because that's a parent. When you're They have to work harder. Some people don't have to work as hard because they're around it all the time. And then some people who have a heart to do it might not be around it all the time. And the parents just could be proud of you because you're doing something, but make sure that you work hard to become good and you have people around with you, man. You can work a little bit harder. Sure. I mean, it's always good to have people truthful around you.
100%. Yes, that's so true. And like, what are your favorite ways to create music and like lyrics with your songs? Do you create them by yourself? Do you have like a team of lyricists and songwriters? Like, how does the inspiration happen?
It's just me. Inspiration happens based off I get an idea. Like I'll get my phone and I could be driving and I'm like, all right, let me just record this because it sounds good. That doesn't mean I'm gonna use it, but it sounds good. Or like Undefeated, the song Undefeated that you mentioned in the beginning was part of the No Bad Days campaign and how I've been through so much, but I'm undefeated. I could have been down for the count, but I'm undefeated. When people gave up on me, I still kept going. I'm undefeated. So it's almost like that's what's in my music is my life. So now it's just how would I say it? Because I'm just expressing my life to folks. And how would I make it? It's just like, for example, first this book was a testimony. Then we had to rewrite it again because I had to change it from my story to where people actually can experience no bad days. You see what I'm saying? So now it's not just my story. You'll find stuff that you actually do that, man, if I change this, I can have a different outcome. You see? So it's just like music, like, just like Undefeated. Man, I made it. I'm thankful I made it through some hard stuff, but I'm undefeated. And you know what's so cool about the song? I don't know if people knew that. It actually broke Spotify history. It was played 22,000 times in one day in the Ukraine.
Wow, it's amazing.
Right. And it's like how God used that song to help encourage folks that are in a war. And that
Wow.
22,000 times in one day, it was played just in the Ukraine. And I just thought, man, that is amazing. I don't even know how it got there. But
Wow,
see,
it's
when you do
amazing.
something positive, I believe God makes room for you. If you end up becoming good and something is great, God makes room for you. You don't have to try. It will just make room for you. If it's your time, it's your time.
That's such a great message. And I think even especially for the youth who sometimes like they have no idea where they want to go or what their direction in life is or their destiny is. But it's like you said, like doing good things and doing things that you're passionate about, that's the first step and it will lead you to open doors. It'll lead you into those directions and to those open spaces where you deserve to be. So that's a beautiful message, especially for the youth who are so often confused and shaken in their identity and purpose.
Yeah, sure. That's
And
good.
where can people connect with you and get your music and see everything that you are putting out?
Everything at World of DPB, all one word. So you go, I have a TikTok show that I do every morning, showing folks how they wake up every morning.
Oh,
eight
that's
o'clock
great.
Eastern, New York. Um, So that's at World of DPB. Facebook at World of DPB. Instagram World of DPB, all one word. So if y'all forget the last letters, DPB David Peanut Butter, even though it's David Paul Brooks, but you'll remember it more with the David Peanut Butter, DPB. All right. So World of DPB, one word at everywhere online, even worldofdpb.com is the website. So World of DPB is where you find me everywhere. Yeah.
Perfect. Yes. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story and hopefully inspiring the youth through music
Yes.
and positive rap.
Awesome. Thank you for having me on your show.